this particular video is completely unnecessary. There's going to be absolutely nothing of value whatsoever. We're listening to Elijah Schaffer, which means by definition, everything that's going to happen in this entire video is useless. Listen to it at your own discretion or don't listen. It's up to you.
I'm not surprised. I mean, also Boris Johnson. I think it's really tragic that people. Well, I was going to say, I think it's tragic that people thought that he was going to be a Donald Trump-esque figure, and in fact, he turned out to be this
disheveled woman. Like his I think it's his girlfriend. Like she kind of like runs the relationship. She wears the pants. The girl in his relationship, if you watch them, she kind of tells him what to do. He's like
that
a beta.
Doesn't shock me.
He's actually kind of beta when it comes to that.
That does not shock me. I think Britain has not had a really strong leader. People can disagree with me on this. Britain has not had a really, really super strong leader besides maybe Margaret Thatcher. Obviously there are people before her, but Maggie Thatcher was kind of it. And then it was just a slow decline after that. Who was better than her? The Iron Lady. Tell me.
Well, I will say this, and I want to bring this up with women leadership. Iceland was just almost had a female-dominated parliament. I think they were going to be the first country, I might be wrong, to have fully...
I just love the idea of a female-dominated parliament. Like, not female majority. It's female-dominated. So for context, this is the name of this particular video that we're watching. It is Beta Male Politicians Are Bad for Society. So this is Elijah Schaffer. Elijah Schaffer, best known for allegedly. Look at me directly. Let's have a close up. Allegedly, invading the U.S. Capitol building on January 6th. So he is insane. And he runs a show called Slightly Offensive, wherein he just says stupid crap. And this is the You Are Here podcast, which I've never heard of before, but apparently exists and has 80,000 subscribers, which is 80,000 more subscribers than we have. So like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so like he's doing that, and this is a clip from his show, and I just felt that we needed to watch it because it's about the beta male politicians and how they're bad for society, and I just thought that would be fun to watch with me. And
dominated female parliament,
but mostly me, because I'm what I think is actually, weird about that responding to it. But anyway, I love you.
And I'm not coming out with like the women are bad thing for a second, but they're like, if you really believed in feminism, why would you care about that?
Having women in positions of power?
Having oh my gosh, Iceland almost had the first dominant female parliament.
Why is it dominant? I just don't understand why it's dominant. Are we a dominant male Senate right now? Like, I don't understand the dominant. Like, these people are so fragile. They're so scared of the idea of like humans existing that are not part of their heterodoxy. It's just like, that was too big a word. He won't understand. The people who are not part of their in-group, people who are not part of their collective, right? Because they're very fragile, and they very much enjoy. Anyway, we will continue.
So you say women are equal. Like, this is what I don't like about that movement. I won't say this with looking at this. Is, do you notice this too? This is actually kind of strange. There are a lot of bad males, but they tend to be beta. And this is what I see in politics, is that there's a lot of beta males, like Dan Andrews, and I would even say Boris is falling a bit into that category.
Bit into that category? I think he's well in there. I think he's probably leading the charge at this stage.
Okay, then I'll concede. But I just want to say, Prince, I think his name's Prince Andrew, right?
Are we talking about the one that did not participate in assaulting
I don't know which. No, who's the one? Who's the one that's the popular one that gets pegged?
Oh, Prince Harry.
Prince Harry, thank you. So
Prince Andrew was the one who did not participate.
Harry is the one that gets pegged in his Harry.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
There's many bizarre people in the monarchy.
Okay. So what I'm saying is that
I just want to clarify. She's correct. The monarchy should not exist. That is is that even a hot? In America, that's not a hot take. In the United Kingdom, that would be a hot take. But we don't live in the United Kingdom. We live in the correct country, and therefore we're fine. So we can say these things because we have the freedom of speech. Because we don't live under a dictatorship, and we don't pretend that dictatorship is okay. Because she wears a cute little hat, and she's a cute little old lady, and No, 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 no. Let me have my tea. Screw you. We believe in coffee. You know why we're quibbles over coffee? Because we're Americans. That's why we're quibbles over coffee. We're quibbles over coffee because coffee is an American drink, okay? We had a Boston Tea Party. We are free, okay, of the British invaders, okay? And that is why I do not believe in monarchy. For the exact same reason that I do not believe in tea, because I'm an American.
A lot of people I see in the dominant political world are very recessive men. And I don't mean like, oh, because it's like, oh, a lot of like Chad dudes confuse what it means to be beta. Because they're like, oh, like I know a lot of dudes who sit behind a keyboard working a job they hate in a marriage that they loathe going, you're a little bitch because you talk more feminine than I do. It's like, cool, well, you don't do shit with your life. Have fun actually fighting the feds and doing something real. You're all talk, buddy. You're a balloon blown up with hot air. There are a lot of people out there, like even if you look at World War II, a lot of those guys who stormed Normandy were really thin, small guys. Being a masculine guy is one thing. Being a guy who actually has the balls to go do something for the world is another thing. And so when I say the guys are betas, a lot of these guys are very masculine men. They're cool. They give the perception of being dudes that can play ball and play game. But a lot of the modern Western political hemisphere is built off of very masculine-leaning, strong women with the butch haircuts and the pantsuits and proving themselves like Angela Merkel and Clinton, etc. And then also a lot of these weak men who are like, I concede my time. And I just find the West is being run by weak men and masculine, bold women.
That last minute, I aspire to reach a point in my rhetorical talent wherein I can spout prose for minutes on end while stating absolutely nothing. I aspire to be like Elijah Schaffer. I aspire, when I grow up, to be so genius in my relationship to the foolish masses, to the proletariat, if you will, so in tune with the nature of humanity, of memes, of the mimetic culture of the internet, that I have the capacity to say absolutely nothing for such a long period of time. That was 4 minutes, but this man has podcasts that are well in excess of an hour in length. I think he does it daily. He certainly does it multiple times a week. And that's the whole everything. The whole of everything that he does is just, you are a beta. You are a beta. Beta, beta, beta. I am an alpha. If you are a Republican, you are an alpha. If you are not a Republican, you are a beta. But he says it with just this like pleasant undercurrent of, well, I just want to have that pleasant undercurrent of, and you could be an alpha just so long as you agree with me, man. And like he just makes up words. These are made up words. People complain about the Democrats. People complain about the far left, about the progressive blah, right? And how we just like make up words, right? But I'm sorry, we don't just go around calling ourselves beta, alpha, whatever the heck, okay? Hassan Piker, like, ironically, will go, ooh, I'm a sigma male, or whatever the heck it is. But, like, these people make up red pills. These people make up beta and alpha. These people, all of these words that just aren't words. They're just not words, but they make them up nonetheless. And I'm rambling. I think we should end the video. But I also don't want to. I really don't want to. Maybe we should watch the last minute again.
All right,
there's many bizarre people in the monarchy.
Okay, so
There's
what
many
I'm saying is
bad,
that
that's
a
true.
lot of people I see in the dominant political world are very recessive men, and I don't mean like because
Okay, so let's. I'm trying to steel man, recessive man. So, in terms of genes, recessive has a meaning, right? Recessive means that you are not going to reproduce the same look that you have, right? With the next version, if there is a dominant gene. So perhaps that's what he's suggesting. Perhaps what he's suggesting is that these people will not be able to show their genes. They'll have children, but their children will not look like them, right? If they have blue eyes, their children will have green eyes because not because they aren't their children, but because you see, they have recessive genes. I'm spitballing here. I'm reaching. Perhaps I will readily admit that, but I just want to.
People, a lot of like Chad dudes confuse what it means to be beta because they're like, oh, like I know a lot of dudes who sit behind a keyboard working a job they hate in a marriage that they loathe, going, "You're a little bitch because you talk more feminine than I do." It's like, cool. Well, you don't do shit with your life.
Okay, so now. I just want to no, I can't. We have to be done. I adore you all. Au revoir. Bye.